Welcome to EdScoop TV. I'm Wyatt Cash, and I'm here today with Candice Dodson. Candice is the Director of eLearning at the Indiana Department of Education, and also this year's Board Chair of the State Education Technology Directors Association, which is where we're filming today's interview. So welcome to the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Terrific. I'd like to just start off, there were a lot of great discussions at Sita this year. What were some of the key takeaways that just kind of struck your ear that other education technology directors would be interested to learn about?
Sure. Well, Sita plays a really important part, I think, for state directors all over the U.S. in that it not only gives you an opportunity to come together with fellow type people in roles like yourself and have that kind of good conversations and discussions. They are very much leading a leading voice nationally in terms of policy and innovation. And so you're always feeding your own professional development. And some of the really exciting kind of conversations that have been happening both formally in sessions, but then also informally, I think have been around the new ESSA, of course, and what the requirements for that look like and guidance. And it's just a great opportunity to talk with other states and saying, this is how we're thinking about that. This is what our state is doing. And I love that collaborative feeling that you get. Everyone's so open to share ideas, and that's just great. And then we had some really good discussions on so many different topics, but like on digital citizenship and how important that role is for our students and even our teachers, and what does that look like in each state, and how are we accomplishing that and putting the resources together for our school corporations. So it's always good to be able to hear and share with others. So those were big topics, but also we're constantly looking at the procurement of digital content. What does that look like? How do we vet digital content? How do we provide it for our school districts? So digital content is another big discussion for all of us. And of course, broadband, with the release of Sita's Broadband Imperative 2 paper recently on Capitol Hill, it certainly sets some standards that people are trying to get to. And so it's just a great opportunity at Sita to learn more, feed your own PD, and connect with others.
Terrific. Well, let's talk about Indiana a little bit. Tell us a little bit about some of the new technology measures that the state of Indiana is taking to improve digital learning.
Sure. Well, we have such a great momentum in Indiana around digital learning. We have about 292 public school districts, and they're just a lot of energy in our state in getting devices in the hands of students. And while that part is important so that they have that gateway to the world, more so our state is really just moving on what does that look like in actually just making the learning space a different kind of a feel, and what does that provide for students. So we have a lot of things going on. This year we had a whole week already in September dedicated to digital citizenship, where we had provided lots of resources and plans for school corporations and down to the classroom level, and also parent outreach. So that's a big focus of ours for this whole year, is how do we help our students become good digital citizens. We also host something every year called the Summer of eLearning. And we have 25 regional conferences that are focused on, this past year is 25, on pedagogical shift. So what do we do now that our students have technology in their hands? So those conferences are just bring over between 8,000 to 10,000 teachers over the months of June and July, face-to-face with experts, with each other. And it's just a great event. So we're doing a lot in terms of both helping students, helping teachers, and then we have a lot of leadership programs going on for our superintendents and so forth to help them be good digital leaders.
Terrific. Thinking more specifically of technologies, are there some innovative technologies that you're seeing getting into the classroom that others might be interested to learn more about?
Well, I see so many people kind of pulling in what they think works. I really like that in Indiana, we're really pushing a lot of, kind of like the Genius Hour thinking, or letting students have a passion and pick what they want to be working on and evidencing their learning. And with that, then you see so many mobile devices being employed. I think that has made such a shift in learning in Indiana. you know, technology has been wonderful, and I've been involved in ed tech for about 14, 15 years, but I think with the, you know, with mobile technologies and with the cloud and with social media, that has really changed things. So all across our state, you will see from kindergartners all the way up, you know, kids with iPads, kids with Chromebooks, really interacting with each other and finding something that they're interested in and using those tools to get there. And you know, we also see people employing gaming and all kind of whatever really works with kids and where their interests are. So that's what I love about my state, is we're very open to that, and people are trying to bring in what's needed.
Shifting briefly to broadband and the role of E-rate and funding, what's happening in Indiana to really take advantage of federal dollars to really help accelerate the use of technology in schools and out of school?
Sure. Well, my state superintendent, Glenda Ritz, is very much focused on equity for all students, and we all know that that access is you know, a huge piece of that, not only at school but away from school. So I know one of her big pushes to make sure that we are all connected and that we're taking advantage of all E-rate funds. We have a good partner in ENA as a state backbone. We work with them to make sure that our schools are connected. So I feel like in Indiana we are taking advantage, and we do have good connection for our students, but we can always do more and go deeper. So we're always looking at ways to really use our E-rate funds and making sure that everybody's taking advantage of it to the best that they can.
Terrific. And lastly, you've been, as you mentioned, involved as a technology director for a number of years, and I understand that your peers voted you a very distinguished award last night, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What would be your message to teachers with an interest in technology, or those aspiring to the role of education technology directors in schools? What would you say to encourage more people to get involved and also get involved with Sita?
Well, yeah, two-part question. I was a classroom teacher first and foremost, and had, you know, done a lot of different roles in school corporations, but I do love the role of helping educators find the best use of technology for learning. So I'd say those teachers out there that, you know, you don't have to be a tech expert. I certainly was not that. But what I was, and I am, is passionate about what it takes for students to learn and to love learning. And so I always say to people, if you love that and you are always looking for the right tools, the right idea to engage students, then consider looking at how you might, you know, come along and be a tech coach in your district. That's a great way to get started. Be the person that shares. Be the person that says, I found the app that can help, or I know a way of connecting students with other students across the world. You know, be the person willing, open your door, model for others. And then, you know, I think look for ways to continue that. That I kind of started there and just kind of ended up in so honored to be over instructional technology for Indiana. And then for Sita, you know, if any state out there is not involved in Sita, if you're a state educational tech director and you're not taking advantage of the Sita family and the amazing professional opportunities, you need to get involved, because it really is, it's a lifeline so many times.
I bet. Well, Candice, thank you so much for being with us today. Really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you.
I'm Wyatt Cash with EdScoop TV. Thanks for being with us, and look for more of our coverage on edscoop.com.